What it do, friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this album review. It's time to tackle the ninth studio album by British metalcore band, formerly metalcore band by my estimation, Architects. This one is called For Those That Wish to Exist, the follow-up to 2018's Holy Hell, which that album is fucking heavily. I still slap that on vinyl all the time. Whew. Hereafter, oh, that song is just a trip, man. Oh, what a great album. I've enjoyed these guys for the better part of the last decade. Oh, their last few albums have been phenomenal, and I know they've been through some personal turmoil with the loss of Tom and everything, but now here we are with a new album and a big departure sonically. So here's where my problem lies. I initially expected some peaks and valleys for sure, but this album, almost from the beginning, is particularly conflicting in the different approaches and not just the change in style for the band overall, but just the very conflicting way that it's carried out. So, Black Lungs, which is one of the promotional singles, has some really catchy riffs that land with some bombast and grit, but Sam Carter vocally sounds a bit strained and almost gassed, kind of. It conjures reminders of the kind of deterioration we've previously seen with bands like the Amity Affliction, and like so many core albums in recent years, it's trying to emulate that trail that Bring Me the Horizon originally blazed, but we get middling results every time because all these bands are just copycats. And on the chorus, Sam has to rely on a lot of autotune. Now, I'm not here to sound the alarm on that, like it's a crime against humanity, but it's certainly an indictment on the shaky sound palette the band now rests on, and the breakdown only nominally salvages the affair. Sam's gutturals are still solid, but his mid unclean vocals are showing a ton of age. Giving Blood leans heavily into synth and electronics, working against the fluid instrumentals, and the drums are prominent early on. But the song's broader execution strikes me as kind of sloppy, actually. Right when you think we're about to reach the first chorus, we get hit with a very tame, very tepid chorus before Sam dives into a chorus where he relies on talk singing question mark and vocal layering to mask his overly harsh tonality. The song's bridge lets loose with of any pretense and allows the band's misguided pop tendencies to just come out in the light, let it all hang out to dry. And the tempo changes a bit too before the last chorus, and it's just weird. I don't know. This song is like from the time it starts to the time it ends, it's just kind of unrecognizable and tries to do different things. Discourse is dead weaponizes some ominous synths and noises to sort of counteract the hip hop beats and keep them at bay. But by this point, the listener knows that this is just another Linkin Park tribute album, sans the rapping. But here's where I'll cut the band some slack. So the chorus has enough personality and gloss coupled with some aggression to actually sell it. And Sam's lows are they're still solid. They're pretty vicious, and it's nice to know that our gods haven't abandoned us after all. Though I would definitely chalk this one up as a Holy Hell B-side. An ordinary execution glides in on some extra crunchy riffs on the intro before Sam does his best Ollie Sykes impression, and then he tries to vocalize with the harsher, grittier, slightly unclean vocals in the chorus, and goddamn, that shit is all kinds of cringy. Whew! And once again, the instrumental is alive and well, but it's being wasted. It's like Sempiternal and Amo said, fuck, that's the spirit, let's run off together, but with the worst vocals. Fight Without Feathers is full on pop. The band realized their shift was over and said, all right, I'm gonna head out, and poor Sam has to close up by himself. If this is a preview of what a Sam Carter solo project would look like, it is a grim glimpse into what could be. Winston McCall from Parkway Drive guest appears on Impermanence, and this track hit me with a combo of like if Matt Walsh from 3 Days Grace had no real vocal chops, thank God he does. Wasting decent lyricism with some laughable delivery, and then Winston handles the bridge and the breakdown, and thank God the guitars and drums had me nodding my head, because Winston's attempt at going back to the sort of deathcore lows are unconvincing, given the pretentious and vapid nature of Parkway Drive's last couple of albums. Okay, I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for this. I do not like Parkway Drive. Their most recent album, Reverence, whew, that album is a pile of garbage. Winston cannot sing, he cannot rap, he can't even scream that well, and that album's mix of like violins and stuff, it strikes me as kind of pretentious in all seriousness, because you have this band who you're coupling like generic metalcore, Walmart great value metalcore, with like stadium symphonic stadium rock histrionics and confusing original presentation, like as if it excuses like a misguided like approach, and it's I just don't buy it. But I guess it's a hand in glove fit for Architects because they're going down the same path. And then we get hit with Lead Off Single Animals. I did not want to talk about this one, but this is one of the album's biggest offenders. This is some real dad rock shit right here, y'all. Sam's vocals in the chorus are laughably bad, coupling the worst corners of modern Bring Me the Horizon sound palette with Sam's own unappealing vocal tonality. Demigod opens with the band talking and laughing audibly in the background, and I immediately thought about our favorite Sheepshaggers in Neck Deep. I was like, oh boy, is this Citizens of Earth Part 2? Dreams die very quickly, folks. I'm obviously not blaming these guys for being from the UK, but you can really hear Sam's accent on this one, and it sounds like he tries to lean into it, try to do something different. It does sound less harsh and strained, incidentally, but it doesn't do anything for me. I'm just hard to please. And then Dying is Absolutely Safe closes the album with the same kind of misguided extravagance that plagues bands like Parkway Drive today, with its dichotomy of acoustic guitars and violins and keys. Some chanted vocals pop up later on, and honestly, this track is wrongly placed to close the album because there's no final chance for the band to explode and end things with a final surge of instrumental prowess. No electric guitars, no drums, no bass. Nothing to leave you with something to remember. All we get is just a pretentious end to a decidedly pretentious album. So, in conclusion, the live fluid instrumentals are mostly really strong, and they definitely cement themselves as multifaceted musicians. They could play any genre, but given the production and the vocals and the way when they spend too much time having the live instrumentals counteract hip hop beats and synths and electronics, it's just a sloppy mess. And it doesn't make for a cohesive album. I'm going to give For Those Who Wish to Exist a 0.5 out of 5. Not having it, sorry. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, smack the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified next time video goes up. Go bump some Ice Nine Kills, go bump Holy Hell, stay away from this.